Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to an SP Reviews where today we have ourselves a track from an act named BAJSH, if I'm not mistaken, titled Come Get Me. And if we switch over to here, we have ourselves the track on YouTube. Now it should be noted that this track, Come Get Me, is going to be a part of the self-titled album titled Come Get Me that BAJSH is going to be releasing in a couple of months' time. So if you like the song that you're listening to today, it might be worth checking out that album as well if it's out at the time of you watching this. But we're going to listen through this track today from start till finish, and we're going to hear what we think. Let's go, let's do it.
Hey, aren't you the R&B artist BAJSH?
Yeah, I guess some people call
BAJSH. Right, apologies, BAJSH.
me that.
Well, where have you been for the past month? People are waiting on a new track.
Daydreaming, I guess.
Daydreaming? What do you mean?
You know, with the music going so well and God blessing me so much, I guess I've been daydreaming about someone to share it with.
Well, that should be easy. You're an R&B singer. They get all the hoes.
And that's exactly my problem. Hoes, bruh. I want something real. Something with intention. I want a woman that's gonna come get me.
I like that. Sorry to interrupt. I'll try not to do it too much, but I appreciate there being this kind of intro here where you get to know the musician more at the start of the track there, so you kind of get a preface for what's going to go on and continue potentially.
If I want you want, come get me, baby. If I want you want, come get me, come get me. I see you coming, stumbling down the street, hungry for something, stomach was rumbling, girl, buy a piece of me. 2 AM phone calls, send you the location. You know the deal, just fucking no feels. I give you the chills and leave. But why you gotta be like that? Been focusing on your smile when you give it back. Oh, whoa. And girl, I caught you noticing. Been looking me in my eyes while you spoke with me. Cause if your man don't got it, girl, I got you. When is you gonna notice? I'm blessing you like a hot shoe. Got a J in my pocket, some cash in my wallet. I'ma just pick you up and feel
Great filtering there, nice work.
I see you coming, stumbling down the street, hungry for something, stomach was rumbling, girl, buy a piece of me. 2 AM phone calls, send you the location. You know the deal, just fucking no feels. I give you the chills and leave. You know I got you. When it's coming to soft sex, so bang on the wall sex, no I got to light up a J first. Like we fucked up the alphabet, spread them legs and get down to that shit, get way worse. Got me psyched up like it's LSD. You're the socket to my plug, the electricity. And now we tumbling and rolling like gymnastics teams. Baby, kiss me while we smoking, take this ghost from me. Let's talk transparency. Afraid of commitment and shit, I'm tired of you scaring me. Let's make this love and solidarity. I'll be your only one, you won't be sharing me. I mean that shit with all my heart and all of my sincerity. I see you coming, stumbling down the street, hungry for something, stomach was rumbling, girl, buy a piece of me. 2 AM phone calls, send you the location. You know the deal, just fucking no feels. I give you the chills and leave, the 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 leave.
No, I got the perfect place for you. Going to a vacation spot up in Maryland.
That's a little bit louder than the rest of the track. I feel like we could have potentially turned this part down a few dB, but I appreciate the cut to it.
Write my address down on your hand. Phone number underneath, baby. And you can come get me. I'm gonna catch, come pick me up.
I think it's a really well-produced track. There's a lot to appreciate about this. I'm going to have a think about it, and then we're going to talk about this track, though, more in the conclusion. Welcome to the conclusion of my review of this track from an act named BAJSH titled Come Get Me. Now, what do I think this track is about? I think it's about someone who has got some really sort of intense feelings for this woman, that woman they're attracted to, and they're talking about all the things they want to do with them, and they're basically sort of inviting them, you know, they see them sort of stumbling down the street, they're inviting them to sort of be a part of that, I suppose. That's basically my understanding of the track. I think that's a story most people are going to be able to relate to, you know, like that's cool, that's personable, that's accessible. I thought that the vocals in this were great. I liked the style of it. I liked the parts where we were more sort of spoken. Like at the intro part, we had that conversation between like the interviewer and then like the artists themselves was kind of cool. It was a little bit different. I like that. And then you get the context of the track going into it where it's more, it's kind of like, it's definitely R&B. Like you've got like the sung parts there, and like there's some really interesting melodies there that resonate and harmonize really neatly with the theme in the background that is repeated throughout for the most part. And I like the theme behind it, don't get me wrong. But you've got a nice sort of safe harmony to kind of interact with as a singer and do your thing with. And you've got a lot of flexibility, even with the activity, the energy of that double bass in the low end there, walking around there with the pull of that. You know, we've got some really interesting harmonies that fluctuate and sort of elevate the track. And ultimately, we've got some like recognizable hook lines. By the time you're the second or third time through, you can roll along with them. And I feel like the transitions between the verse and chorus sections are done really well. We're very comfortable in a head and chest voice there. We know how to create, again, those memorable hook lines. And I don't think there's any issues with the vocals, should I say. I think they're quite well done. And yeah, they definitely know the style they're going for, and I feel as if they are able to attain that here. It's a confident performance, and it makes sense for what we're discussing within the track lyric-wise as well. The track itself, at roughly 3 minutes, 2 minutes, I should suppose, with the interview taking up like the first minute or something like that, I think that's fine. So it's basically a 2-minute song, and I don't really think there's any issues with that at all. Like if it's short form, you get the point across. It's very easy to sort of take in and kind of like sort of vibe with. And we have a few fundamental instruments with the understanding that the structure of it is basically, again, the opening interview, and then we have like choruses and verse parts sort of further elaborating on what we were discussing in those choruses. We have, I'm not sure, we definitely obviously have like a drum kit. We have like some interesting 16th note grooves there, like a halftime feel to that with the kicks and snares. We have a bass line that walks across the root notes, but also does some interesting scale or modular movements there, which is kind of funky. It reminds you a lot of sort of like music from the 70s and stuff like that. It's got a really sort of like old school aesthetic to it. We got this, I'm hesitant to say what that instrument there. It's definitely, it's not strings or brass or keys, or it could be like a synth, I suppose. But there's a specific instrument I'm thinking about here, and I can't quite place it. Either way, the tone of that is a nice resonance in the mid-range and complements a lot of the ideas that are going on within the vocals really neatly. We know to sort of like filter parts of the instrumental bits as well to make room for certain bits within the vocals and to like allow for change within that motif or that theme. I feel like if you'd had the beat be the exact same the entire time, it would have sounded a little bit sort of like amateurish, but we didn't have that here. We understood we needed to have variety within not only the vocal performance with the different vocal melodies and parts throughout the track between the verse and choruses, but also the elements that were going on within the different sections. It would have adjustments again of like the way the instruments presented, like for either post-production or simply taking one instrument away from that earlier, from like the halfway point of which going back into the chorus where things would be a bit fuller there. We also, there was some interesting sort of like tuned percussion parts there, some little bells or something like that, which sounded really dope as well. They had a great sort of sheen to them and they were very pretty sounding in the mix. And overall, the way the instruments sounded together almost had this sort of like vinyl warp on it, where it sounded sort of very old school and kind of, I liked the nostalgia, the warmth to that. It's not just a post-production thing. It's a conscious arrangement decision where we're trying to capture maybe the essence of music from an earlier time, but bring it into sort of a more modern situation. And I feel like that was a smart move here. It's done in a way which is very authentic, makes sense for it's sort of the black and white, sort of like way that the video has been edited, like with the black and white sort of like grayscale of the audiovisual experience. It does kind of make it seem like it's a tale as old as time, and I enjoy that a lot. And then the theme itself overall indicates a sort of a sleepy romanticism there. Like there's a bit of seduction there, but it's not too sort of in your face. It's almost sort of like kind of as we go, like little pushes at trying to get with this person, trying to sort of incentivize them to get involved with you and stuff like that. There's like a gentle kind of optimism to like the major pushes there, bit of funkiness with the bass line. And the 16th note halftime with the groove shows a sense of patience. So I appreciate all these different ingredients combining to form like quite a cohesive sounding track. But it's a studio recording, mixing and mastering. That's the final thing we're going to talk about today. And I like the vast majority of it. I think I mentioned the end part there where the vocals kind of got a bit louder after the cut to like the camera going out. I like that. It just would have been good if that was maybe like a few dB quieter there, because it was quite a sharp kind of like build there from like nothing there. And that's basically it. Everything else I think was really well leveled within the track. I think the vocals sat really well within the backing theme there. There were no weird resonances in the frequency spectrum there. Things were well niched there. It was nice and right wide stereo field there. The music surrounded you in the headphones and it was full of life. Again, I appreciate the filtering of certain elements there that made it seem a little more sort of low mid oriented before coming back up for like wide, louder bits. I think there was dynamic range to it, which was good. I mean, there definitely was dynamic range. The vocals weren't overproduced. They had like a bit of compression and reverb on them, but we could sing and we were simply just trying to be sort of like palatable, and I appreciate that. There was a little bit of graininess and kind of grittiness to the mix in general, but I think it's because we were trying to capture that vintage sort of sound to it, which I appreciate as well. It makes sense with the instruments and the way they're sort of together in the theme. And ultimately, yeah, I think this is just, it was nice and loud without pumping, so the bus compression and limiting was handled. And effectively, this is my review of this track from an act named BAJSH, titled Come Get Me, and hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please do go show them some love via their various social medias and YouTube page, and stay cool and stay safe, and please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as they need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. And I will catch you in the next review. Spiderhands out.